it going, folks? This is Wayne back for another looper lesson today, and following from the the popularity of Champagne Supernova. If you haven't seen that, go over and check that out. Today we're going to look at Supersonic by Oasis, which is not that dissimilar to Champagne Supernova. So obviously I'm going to show you a little chord sequence, and you can mess up and down with it with a pentatonic scale, and I'll show you the lick. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so to do this little lick and chords, you're going to want your guitar in standard tuning. And I must stress, it's not the whole of Supersonic. If you do want that, if I get enough requests, I'll do the whole song with a little riff at the beginning and everything. This is just the lick that's based around sort of the chorus chords, and obviously, what it does in the outro, carrying on playing around those chorus chords. You don't have to have a loop pedal either, even though this is down as a looper lesson. You can either learn the chords and the lick and jam with a friend, or you can record on most mobile phone devices these days. So I do a bit of that. I record the chords over a loop for a couple of minutes, and then I'll practice the lick over the top. So that's a good way to do it. But if you have got the money, because they're quite reasonably priced these days, there's a lot of looper pedals on the market, it is worth buying one, because they're great for practicing this sort of thing, or practicing scales over the top of chords, or a guitar solo. They're a fantastic bit of kit. So if you can afford one, I'd recommend that you do buy one. So anyway, so into the lesson. So first of all, you're going to want the chord sequence. So it's going to be a D chord, an A, an E, okay, and an F sharp power chord. Okay, so your first finger is going to be on the 2nd fret on the low E string. Third finger is on the 4th fret on the A string, and the little finger is on the 4th fret on the D string. And we're just going to play those 3 strings, obviously, that the fingers are on. So it's a D, A, E, F sharp. Okay, so that's what the lick's going to be based around, though, that chord sequence. Okay, so the lick comes within an F sharp minor pentatonic scale, so that would start right up on the 14th fret on the low E string. So okay, so if you're not really up on your scales, about 12 months ago now I did a little scale course. So if you go on my technique lessons and you want to brush up on your scales, this is normally the first scale that I show everybody, but like I say, the lick comes from this scale. Okay, so what we're going to want then is the 3rd finger. That is going to be on the 16th fret on the G, and we're going to do a little semitone bend, so we're actually bending to the 17th tone. And I'm going to take, obviously, if you have all 3 fingers on and have your 1st finger waiting on the 14th fret. Okay, so that's the first little part of the lick. So we go back to 16, 14, 16 on the string above, which is the D, 14, back to 16. So put that together, we got again a bit slower. So after that, we're going to go back to 14 on the G, 16 on the D, 14 on the, and back to 16 on the D. So we put that together with the first part of the lick. Okay, we do the first part of the lick again. So the semitone bend, 14. This time we're going to go 17 on the B to 14 on the B. That will be 16 and then 14 on the G. So okay, so we put all that together. We got okay. So now let's do this quick turnaround. So I'm playing 14 on the D, a little hammer on to 16, 14 on the G, 16 on the D, back to the 14 on the G. So if we put all that together, we've got the I just, I looked the chords earlier on, so if we just start the chord sequence, play that over the top. Okay, so that is the main lick, but it's also good fun to sort of, you know, improvise around that scale and make your own licks up and just play that scale over the top of those chords, and you know. So, you know, a little example, I'll just start that again. So we got the main lick. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Hope you all dug that. And as I stressed, you know, during the lesson, you don't have to have a loop pedal, you know, to enjoy that lesson and practice, you know, the concept, what we were talking about. But you know, I would, if you've got the spare cash, I would sort of recommend that you buy a loop pedal and try this out, because it's great for learning things like this and practicing scales and modes and things like that over the top of chords. It's a great way to get good. You know, a lot of practice I use a loop pedal, you know, doing this sort of thing and practicing guitar solos and things like that. I know I'm mainly known for doing acoustic, but I do lead stuff as well, you know, pretty much for my own sort of fun. But a loop pedal is a big part of that, so if you don't already own one, I do recommend that you get one if you've got the spare cash. But there we go, hope you all dug that. If you've got any requests for any other, you know, not just looper lessons, any lessons in general, if you do want a whole version of Supersonic or a whole version of another song, maybe on electric guitar, or another acoustic lesson, 50s to modern day, you know the drill. You can either comment in the post below, or a good way to reach me these days on social media. I'm Wayne R Guitar on Facebook, Twitter and also Instagram these days, as I'm trying my best to get down with the kids. So that way you can send me a personal message. It might take a while to do the request, but I do always respond to messages, and please do keep them coming, because that's what keeps this channel going. Thanks everyone for the continued support. Thanks everyone who's subscribed and who continues to subscribe. I really do appreciate it, and like I say, it really does mean a lot. So that just leaves me to say have a great morning, day, night, whenever it is you're watching, and I will catch you all for a lesson very soon. Take care.